Hi everyone, this is Meredith with Soul Navigation, and this is the very most important dates for June, astrologically speaking. So I'm going to give you your astrological transits for June. So get out a piece of paper and a pencil, and I hope so much that you'll take notes and write these down on your calendar. So let's start because there's a lot happening and it's going to be an absolutely amazing time to do some great manifesting this month. What I like you to know is that the transits don't rule your life. The transits are portals of energy that you can turn on and activate so you can harness the energy. And on the dates that have challenges inside of them, you can, when you're aware, you can actually use those challenges to your benefit. So stressful aspects actually have a lot of juice in them. And when you're aware of the power and how you can manipulate or drive that energy, it's really, really helpful. So let's get started, okay? Because I got tons to talk about. So on June 1st, Mercury is going to trine Mars. And trines are always harmonious, really good aspects. So this is a great day to find your voice. This is a great day to have a powerful voice in your community or in your tribe, to speak up and to know that what you say is impactful. It's a day where you want to make important statements that are going to shape the whole rest of the month. And also on June 1st, my God, this is such a good day. Venus is in happy aspect to Jupiter. So Venus trines Jupiter. And this is such a lucky charm day. And all of the astrologers out there will say, look forward to this day. This day has a forward moving abundance in it. This day is a true love day. If you're in love or looking for love, this is the day. So you want to go out tonight, because today is June 1st, actually, as I say this. And it just has like a golden halo around this day. So your personality can really shine on this day. And it's a great day for dating, but it's also a great day for really healing a stressful relationship. And today is a day when you could become popular or happy or joyful or fun. It's a day of laughter. So make it adventurous. Step into the limelight today. And Venus rules, it rules your love, what you love. It rules love and it rules money. It also rules self-worth and feeling worth it and self-love. And Jupiter creates expansion. So love and money and self-worth and I matter, that statement, is expanded right now. So this is a day to really build your confidence. So I would love to hear below any comments that you have about what happened to you on June 1st. And if you know about that energy and you can co-create with the universe some magic, it's even more powerful. So tomorrow we get a really good aspect too, because transiting Venus is trining Neptune. And it's like perfect for romance. It's sort of the most romantic transit, I think, in the entire zodiac. It blends this sort of glamour and love. So it's like a glamour love day. And it's a time when you can really call in your ideal partner. It's a day to fantasize also, or manifest your ideal partner. It's not really about steamy sex. It's really more about that kind of fairy tale love. And if you're already in relationship, this is also a great proposal day. But this is a day to really embrace your lover and make them feel like make them feel so inspired. It's such an inspiring time. It's also a day that's like a healing agent for people in need. It's almost like you have a magical healing power that you can lend to others right now. And what you can do is, step into that energy of forgiveness, the power of gratitude, the power of love, the power of beauty, and really enjoy this time. Put beauty and relaxation and entertainment and love and healing all into your date night, and it will just be so glorious. So that's going to be fun. On June 4th through the 7th, the Sun and Mercury come together in a conjunction, and they're both also going to square Neptune. So this is going to likely sort of distort your thinking, which kind of can confuse you. It can complicate things. So business dealings can kind of be confusing. If you have to sign a contract, make sure you read the fine print and you really understand what you're signing. Giving or receiving instructions can get sort of foggy, and you really need to sort of protect yourself against anybody who's trying to push a sale on you. And because you could be deceived under this influence between the 4th and the 7th. It's a time when we're a little bit more gullible. And so you want to be careful. You also want to be careful with drugs and alcohol, mind-altering drugs and alcohol on that day. Do not drink and drive ever, but really don't take chances or risks at all between the 4th and the 7th with drugs and alcohol. Don't experiment. Watch your drinks. If you're going out, take your drink to the bathroom, cover it up, etc. It's a day when you can be duped. And because it's in square aspect to Neptune, and Neptune rules drugs and alcohol, I get weary on those days. So on June 5th, Venus is opposite Pluto. And I kind of like that opposition. So it adds this intense pressure or passion to your closest relationships. And it can, in the negative aspect, it can make your partner or yourself extremely suspicious or jealous or possessive or threatened, or you can feel that way. It might be like all of a sudden you're dealing with some relationship drama due to feeling manipulated, feeling used, feeling like there's a power play or a power shift. And you can even become a little bit obsessive, a little bit compulsive, but you might catch somebody having an affair. It's also energy that acts at a subconscious level. So it's like if you're having an affair, this is a day where you could really get caught. Now, I will tell you that I also like this aspect when it is coming from really healthy people, because I feel like it can create this sexual and psychological bond that is intense, and it can really tie you together. And it can be so deep, and it can be deeply rewarding. But, and I'll tell you, this aspect can transform your life. It can truly transform your life. So this is on June 5th. And I also want to tell you, though, that if you're in a relationship where there's a power imbalance, this is a time when you'll want to get your power back. So do whatever you need to do to not be victimized or dominated any longer in your relationship if you have a power imbalance. And that doesn't necessarily mean a sexual relationship. It means any relationship. It's like even the score. Of course, without hurting anybody. So let's see. On June 7th, and I'm just doing the most important transits. On June 7th, the Sun is squaring Neptune. And let's just take a look at that for a minute. When the Sun squares are hard aspects, Neptune, it's like those two planets aren't interacting together as well. And so the Sun is your vitality. And so your vitality is on the 7th of June. It's probably feeling a little bit defeated, confused, disappointed, wayward, a wanderer, lost. If you don't really know what your goal is or what you want to get out of life, or you feel like, I'm losing some interest in this project that I'm in, or I no longer feel enamored with a certain aspect of my life, that is pretty normal under this transit. And so you can feel also insecure, you can feel wrought with guilt, you can feel disillusionment, and you can also feel deceived again. That's Neptune. You might feel like you're being a little bit of a hypochondriac. It's not a good time for medical tests or operations. I really don't want you to get an operation on the 7th if you don't have to. If you have to, I get it. But here's the deal. If you have to get an operation on the 7th, be so careful about infections. And I want you to bulk up on your vitamins and really bulk up on vitamin D, on vitamin B, and you want to get your life force energy and your vitality boosted. So however you have to do that. You might also feel like if you are sick, it takes a little longer time to recuperate. So really take your vitamins and treat yourself well on this day. So you're going to be more sensitive to drugs on this day, so you don't want to overdo it. You could also have a misdiagnosis on this day, so get a second opinion. If you already have mental health issues, paranoia, OCD, bipolar, depression, borderline personality, go gentle on yourself. Be very, very sweet and kind and loving to yourself. Do not let yourself stress out on this day. Secrets will be uncovered or can be on this day, and secrets are hard to keep on this day too. There's also this is a great transit. This is a great time to step into the artistic side of you. Use your energy to create something, and it can be anything. It can be food to crafts to painting your home. I would also like to invite you on this day to do some deep spiritual work, meditation, prayer, church, whatever. Really tap into the divine, because that is sort of what's going to help you navigate this transit. And this transit is, I know it's direct on the 7th, but it kind of creeps up on us. Even around the 1st, you might start to feel this, and it goes till about the 14th. So let's skip to June 13th. There's the new moon in Gemini, and it's a good news story on this day. It is, it's a busy new moon. It's a networking new moon. It has a lot of good fortune and protection on this particular new moon. It is in a place where it bisects two of the most fortunate star groups. And so it really does give us sort of a blessing. It's kind of like on this new moon, since this Gemini is the communication planet, I like to think of it like God is talking, God is listening. Your guardian angels want to be heard, and they want to hear you. Prayers are answered. So this is June 13, a day that I really want you to step into what it is you want to say to your crossed over loved ones, your guardian angels, your spirit guides, or God. What do you want to manifest? Speak your truth. Say your wishes, say your dreams, and put it inside of you as a knowing. Because this is a very powerful day to manifest what's up in here, in your mind. What do you want? What do you wish for? And put it down into your heart. That's the moon. And then deliver it to God. Deliver it to the source on the new moon day. And watch yourself receive in abundance. So this is a really, really wonderful time. Now, this new moon is amplified because of these fortunate fixed star positions. And I want to hear your new moon stories. I want to hear, what do you want to create? And then after the 13th, I want to know what was created. So leave me some comments, if you will. So June 14th, Venus is squaring Uranus. So this does challenge the stability of our love and our relationships. And there's sort of like unexpected desires and urges. And so you your relationship might be tested. Now, it also, and it's because it creates this intense need for freedom and excitement. And if our partner or our relationships are kind of boring, we might break free. So Venus square Uranus is a breakup time. It is a time where if you feel like the shackles are too tight, you're going to want to ditch out. And if you feel confined or smothered or bored or ball and chained, then you may either just get really angry, or you may sabotage your relationship to the point where you get the other person to break up with you, or you break up. And it's also a time where you could step into a love affair if you're not satisfied. So I really recommend on June 14th, you be patient with yourself. Don't act rashly, because you might regret it later. Try to resist the urge for just this dynamic change and excitement that's been bottled up, if you will. And try talking to your partner or talking to your loved ones. Or if you think that you want to quit your job or quit the sports team or quit your family or, anything, really take a secondary look at it and be patient, because this could just be an urge inside of you in this moment in time. And I feel like you could jog it out, run it out, you could go sweat it out, you could go swim it out, you could go exercise this out of you. You could talk yourself off the cliff, and you could find a nicer way to leave if you really, really do want to leave. You could also, if you are looking for love, this is a time when you could find really exciting love affair. Now, it's not something that will necessarily stick, but it is something that could really turn on your world. And so I just want you to also be cautious and careful, because it could start with a bang and end just as quickly. So you want to make sure that you, I guess, dot your I's and cross your T's if you're looking for something significant. So also take care with your credit card, because this can be like a splurge on shopping. You could could be a ton of impulse purchases right now. Like, don't necessarily buy a new house under this transit. Okay, so let's get to June 15th. Mercury is opposing Saturn. So this is a time where there's very serious thinking going on and very serious conversations. You could be prone to a little bit of negativity. You could be prone to a little bit of sadness, but you could also really desire a commitment now. So you could also feel a little bit like you have, there may be an event that knocks your self-esteem down a little bit. You could have a struggle communicating. You might feel a little bit alone in your thoughts. You might receive bad news, sad news. You might be in a challenging situation. You might feel neglected. So this isn't a day to, I want you to know that this day is going to pass. If you feel depressed or melancholy, just know that this is like a cloud formation where you look up in the sky and you see it one way, and 3 seconds later it's shifted. So this energy is moving, and it's moving pretty quickly. But I just want to tell you that it's a little bit of a pessimist day. So try to infuse optimism and look at all the things in your life that you have to be grateful for, so you can counterbalance it. On June 18th, Neptune goes retrograde. So this also is going to be in a grand trine. And this is a fantastic time for real creative potential and really stepping into something glorious that you want to create. So Mercury and Jupiter are the other aspects in this trine. So there's this philosophical and spiritual and friendly feeling to our Neptune going in retrograde. It's deeply reflective. So let me just look at this. This is like going inward for a spiritual quest, and you're seeking sort of a divine truth within. It's going to last 160 days, and it is, let's see, I'm going to go take a peek at this aspect. It is really, really interesting because it is less concerning than a Mercury in retrograde or a Venus in retrograde or a Mars in retrograde, but it takes you internal and it strips away the illusions and the phony facades and the false realities, if you will. It's sort of the opportunity to destroy your fantasy world and get in touch with reality. So it can sometimes feel a little bit harsh, but it's sort of a good sobering. Maybe you have sort of eluded yourself around who you're involved with or a project or a business. Maybe you bit off more than you can chew. This is sort of a get real time where you evaluate internally. Is this realistic? Is my life, am I being realistic for myself? Are my goals realistic? It's almost like the truth of your reality comes to the surface. And so I also want you to know that Neptune rules self-sacrifice and it rules scandals and slander. And so Neptune in retrograde can show you the source of pain. If you feel you've been stabbed in the back, betrayed, victimized, if you've been violated, if you have felt humiliated, frightened by other people, it can show you, Neptune in retrograde can show you the source and the reasons why that person had that motive with you. If you felt like you lost your job unfairly, it's like this is a time where you can hunt for the deeper spiritual and philosophical truths around that betrayal. You might spend a little bit more time focused on your problems about yourself and your life, but try not to go into pity because it can be a downward spiral where you feel like withdrawing and you feel like wallowing, and it's hard to get out of the Neptune spiral. Instead, read some self-help books. Read Marianne Williamson's A Return to Love Again. Get some counseling. Get an astrology reading, soulnavigation.com. Get on my calendar and let's go quest for the deep, deep spiritual truths inside of you that can transcend you, that can transcend your personal story where you're the victim. And let's see the truth about the meaning of your life and why you exist. So there can be a really beautiful aspect in Neptune in retrograde because you have the opportunity to go to the deepest places inside of your soul and learn, why do I truly exist? And why did I have these horrible things happen? And reframing the pain, reframing the source of the original wounds. So it can be a true spiritual revelation in the best and in the highest form. On June 19th, Mercury trines Jupiter. You're going to get good news. This is the day to really look for. This is the day that you sort of find the pot of gold, if you will, at the end of the rainbow, meaning you might get the raise, you might get a good review, you might get accolades, you might get a boost up, you might get a promotion, you might get an elevation, you might get your Golden Globe, your Oscars, your trophy, you might win the championship. Mercury trines Jupiter, the tournament. So June 21st, Venus is opposing Mars. So this is going to create this intense emotional life resulting in my cats. Aren't my animals funny? This is going to create an intensity inside your relationship. So when you love someone and you express your deep, deep feelings, your strong feelings through passion and dramatic displays of affection at this time, it's like you get to know how much someone really loves you. I don't recommend, though, that you push too hard on the pedal right now because this is an opposition, but I do recommend that you express yourself under this transit. And this is a good opportunity for you to compete, to be in competitions, because you could really win. And isn't my kitty cute? So sweet. So this is also a real physical aspect. So, I hope you play your winning game. Exercise, take on a new sport, fall in love with a sport, fall in love with yoga, fall in love with swimming, play on a team. And also, this is a time when you should, you might experience a little bit of a stormy relationship, but I do feel in this opposition, you could really heal it too. You could, it's almost through love and sex coming together, you could really put some balance into your relationship. And in its worst, the Mars and Venus could oppose one another, and it's in its best you could fuse those Mars and Venus qualities together. So sex and love. June 23rd, the Sun sextiles Uranus. This could be the most creative, out of the box, wild, zany, fun, exciting day of the month. And on June 26th, Mars is going to go retrograde. So, and this makes a challenging aspect to Venus and Jupiter. So there's going to be a lot of sexual tension. I don't know if it's good sexual tension or bad, but there will be a ton, an abundance of sexual tension. Either you want what you're not getting, or you, or you're getting what you want with the wrong person, or you're not getting what you want with the person that you want. It's something. And you might be sexually frustrated. You might feel like your sex life isn't what you want it to be. And so it's an opportunity to really step into creating what you want by using your voice and your actions. So let's see, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto are all retrograde on that June 26th, and they stay retrograde for a while. So it's a time to really go within, go inside with your energy. And you might want to do a different kind of sport because Mars in retrograde needs a reflection. So it's sort of like a yoga. It's a tantric sex, Mars in retrograde, because it goes internally really deep. What would be another introverted sport? It would be something, like a Tai Chi. It might also be a jiu-jitsu or kung fu, something that takes great mental acumen. Chess would be great. It's a time, Mars retrograde, where you would go within. Like it would require the competition would require an internalized energy. June 27th, the Sun is opposing Saturn. And so this is kind of a restriction. This is a time when you could lose somebody. You could lose your father. You could have a goodbye. There's difficulties with dad. And you might see your dad weak, absent, hospitalized, upset, sick. It could also, if it's not your father, it could be your authority figure, your boss. And it is a time, I want you to be really careful with this transit, because the Sun means that your entire identity is affected. And it's a time for you to really learn and grow. There's a karmic element to this aspect. You can be really self-critical. You can feel like your dad or your father figure, your boss or your authority is critical of you. It's a time for you to get serious, sober, conscientious, be willing to do the work, stand up for yourself. It's a time to roll up your sleeves, do the hard work, look for the lesson, appreciate the opportunity to have the lesson. Try not to be too critical about yourself. Try not to. I love her. So sweet. This is Aurora. There's the full moon on the 28th, and it's in Capricorn, and it's dominated by this really powerful conjunction to Saturn retrograde. So this full moon can really create a sense of loss or scarcity or guilt or hesitancy or fearfulness or restriction, all those things that Saturn does. And it could be a little bit more of a harder full moon. It is a time to let go of a habit that could be killing you. If you smoke, this is the day to quit smoking. It's the time where you want to break free of limiting behaviors. That embrace this full moon to let go of bad habits, habits that could kill you, hurt you, harm you, habits that bring you down, habits that criticize you. This is a time to lose weight. This is a time to really show great power and determination to let go of the things that are negative in your life that don't serve you. You're going to have to show incredible will, power, life force energy to sort of push through this Capricorn full moon. And if you are a Capricorn or if you are a Cancer, this is going to be right on that axis, and it's going to be a little bit tough. There is good fortune, though, if you do the work. And I do feel that this is going to work to your advantage. You'll reap the rewards in 2 weeks, which is on July 12th, where we have that solar eclipse and we have the new moon. So what you do on this day is really important for the July 12th date. So this is a shedding, getting rid of, saying goodbye, divorcing, stepping into a fearlessness around what you need to lose, what you need to exfoliate. June 30th, Mercury is going to square Uranus. And so, communication is tricky. You might be misunderstood. You might have arguments, unintended arguments. A vital piece of information could be said at the wrong time in the wrong place that creates exposure. You can offend people really easily with this. Now, on the positive side, you could have a breakthrough, a real opportunity to see things from a brand new perspective. And you could have a complete breakthrough, an original idea. You could be credited with just a gifted thought. And you can also communicate and meet and network with really ingenious people. It's like you have to be careful, though, because you could be quick-tongued and foot and mouth syndrome. And there's an anxiety, there's an intensity and an anxiety in this aspect on the last day of the month. So you want to be tender, you want to be thoughtful, and you want to be careful. Now, I also want to tell you just a few more things looking at this month. When it is the month of Gemini, this is a time for happiness and joy and playfulness and networking and communication and learning. It's on that teacher-student axis. So this month is a time when you want to read a book, listen to podcasts, you want to learn and absorb, and you want to take in tons of information. It's also a time when Mars is in Aquarius, even though it goes retrograde, and that Mars-Sun aspect create this incredible energy and stimulation. So there's a mental energy that stimulates your whole entire body. And I also want to tell you that Mars is on the South Node, and we are going to have quite a few eclipses in July, so you won't want to miss my July video. That will be absolutely critical to listen to the July video for those eclipse dates, and I'll give you those before July 1st, hopefully. And so I also want you to know that we're in that Uranus at 0 degrees, right? So Uranus went to 0 degrees into Taurus, and it went out of Aries, and it's in slow-moving Taurus. So Gemini and Aquarius move clip, 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 super fast. And, you know, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. And Mars in Aquarius wants to go super fast, but its ruler is like putting on the brakes. And so our energy is a little bit erratic or sporadic, or it's not consistent and stable right now. It goes up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Just embrace it. Just embrace it. It's like downhill snow skiing. Like you're going super fast and you stop, you go slow on the moguls or fast. You know, it travels at all different speeds. Be okay with it. It's a little bit of a bumpy ride, but it's like just enjoy it. And I also want to tell you that, you know, this month is going to bring you, for sure, with all those aspects, it's going to bring you excitement. So I want to hear what's exciting about your June. And if you wouldn't mind, put your comments below and subscribe to my channel. And I'll be posting another video soon. I think I'm going to do Pisces rising next, and then look for the July video. And please ring the little bell and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Soul Navigation, and then ring the little bell and you'll get a notification when I upload my next video. And I just wish you all the very best. Happy June. I'll see you in July. And Aurora says bye too. Thank you. Take care.